Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Shrimate Bhaktivedanta, Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschata Desatarine. Sri Vyasa Puja is a time for, first of all, meditating on Srila Vyasa Deva. His seat, the Vyasa-san, is the seat of Vyasa. And that seat of Vyasa is for repeating the knowledge, the message of Srila Vyasa Deva. The qualification to be a genuine guru is given in the Shastra. Tasmad Guru Papajeta Jigyashu Shreya Uttam. The spiritual master is genuine by his deliberation, his deep thought contact with the Shastra. And then, based on that thought content, he's able to convince others. And part of the process of convincing others is to not be swayed by material considerations. That means don't change the knowledge because of superficial material considerations. Present the knowledge of Krishna as it is. This Vyasa Puja gives the opportunity for reciprocation. Disciples, well-wishers, seniors can express, and then the reciprocation is evident because of Krishna. The whole system of guru-disciple is the desire of Lord Krishna. It's Krishna's system. It's part of personalism. It's not an external ritual. It's not something just done out of habit or fashion. It is Krishna's system. And by following Krishna's system, we attract Krishna's attention. It's not easy to sit here and listen to constant glorification, but it's a chance for me to remember that the mercy is coming from Krishna. As you know, samsara dava nananita loka. The spiritual master is like the rain cloud of mercy. The cloud gets the water from the ocean and then distributes it on the dry land. So the spiritual master has no mercy of his own. The mercy is coming through parampara from Lord Krishna. We should not accept a spiritual master out of fashion or because everyone else is doing it. The Shastra says, Tad vijnanartam guru meva bhikshate. If you're trying to understand what is the ultimate in life, then you should approach a guru. There has to be some sincere desire for transformation. Otherwise, what's the point in having a spiritual master just as a picture on your altar? The more that you want to take shelter of the Guru, the more Krishna pays attention to you. This is Krishna's system. Just as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite bar. I'm running, he says, after the devotee shouting Krishna, Krishna. He doesn't say he's running after Krishna directly. He says, I'm running after the devotee. So you may wonder why. Wouldn't it be more expedient? Wouldn't it be a shortcut just to go directly to Krishna? Sometimes devotees concoct like that. Or they just think it's not a concoction, it's just making everything express. Shortcut. But that is impersonalism. If you neglect what is Krishna's system, you're not interested in Krishna, because everything related to Krishna, his name, fame, glory, his associates, his activities, is also Krishna. So we take this system of Vyasa Puja seriously because it's Krishna's desire. It's very inspiring for me to hear what I would like to be. By your words of encouragement and appreciation. Just like listening to His Grace Patapana Prabhu. So okay, I should be like that. There's a contradiction going on here. The disciple sees the Guru as full of good qualities, which is correct for the disciple to see in that way. And the Guru sees himself as simply devoid of any good qualities except in his relationship with his spiritual master. So this is the contradiction. Both are correct. And sometimes devotees become bewildered. Well, the Guru looks like an ordinary person. He acts like an ordinary person. What's the big deal? Especially after some years, you think of yourself as an older devotee and you realize, look, the Guru is just an ordinary human being. It's quite obvious. But the Shastra tells us to see differently. Seeing without knowledge is not seeing at all. Just like so many persons say, have you seen Krishna? I want to see Krishna. But there are different ways of perceiving. Seeing is one way, hearing is another way. So therefore, the Parampara tells us the proper way to see a saintly person is through the ear. You see through your ears. Otherwise, something can be right before your eyes and you don't know what you're looking at. This is what happened when Krishna was physically present, meaning present to physical vision 5,000 years ago. Very few understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They thought, he's such a powerful human being. Maybe he's the most powerful human being. Some thought, he's a Devata. He's a demigod. Rarely, like the Yadu dynasty, some members of the Yadu dynasty thought Krishna is the super soul. But very few understood Krishna as Swayam Bhagavan, the source of all avatars, the source of all incarnations, the source of all expansions. And Krishna is right there before physical vision. But very few understood who he was. And this shows you that seeing without knowledge is not seeing at all. So the Guru presents knowledge of Krishna, and if you hear it, you'll be able to see Krishna. So you might say, oh, who are you? We haven't seen Krishna. You have. Every time you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, every time you hear the Hare Krishna mantra, you are seeing Krishna. Really? As you make spiritual advancement, you'll start to understand, you'll start to experience that hearing is seeing. Just like the intelligent person learns by hearing, not by experience. So you would think that just learning by hearing is not such a strong impact, whereas learning by experience, that's something that's very momentous, very weighty. But hearing, maybe something there, maybe not. We have this bias against hearing as if it's a deficient experience. But if you take the words of the parampara and fully dedicate yourself to seeing through hearing, you'll be shocked at the difference it makes in your japa, in your reading, in your hearing class. I am seeing Krishna through the sound of his name, through the sound incarnation of Srimad Bhagavatam. I am seeing Krishna. And gradually, with that attitude, the impact of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, hearing and chanting about Krishna, will become more and more pronounced, and your realizations will multiply. But you have to have that firm, basic determination that hearing about Krishna is seeing Krishna. We have this concoction that's subtly lurking in our consciousness. Oh, I'm just hearing the Hare Krishna mantra. I'm just hearing Bhagavatam. All right, we're doing it like a ritual. We haven't confronted the full impact of hearing. And then what happens is, as you become an older devotee, you may not have the spiritual strength that you want, because you've never made that individual, personal confrontation. When I chant Hare Krishna, I am seeing Krishna. When I am reading Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, I am seeing Krishna. With that bedrock, fundamental conviction, your spiritual life will be much more profound. But if you take chanting Hare Krishna, if you take reading Srimad Bhagavatam as just something external, superfluous to seeing Krishna. In other words, you falsely put seeing Krishna in a category separate from hearing about Krishna. Whereas the full potential of hearing about Krishna is given to you when you understand this is not a deficient activity. This is not a weakened activity. This is the full presence of Krishna. I just have to make progress to realize what's actually before my eyes because it's going in my ear. So this is the secret about how to see Krishna. So if anyone asks you, have you seen Krishna? You can say yes, Hare Krishna. Otherwise you may feel insecure. Someone's asked me, have I seen Krishna? Oh no, I've never seen Krishna. Everyone can see Krishna when they have knowledge of what they're hearing and what they're looking at. Otherwise, as we said, when Krishna was present 5,000 years ago, very few knew what they were looking at, although Krishna's right before their physical eyes. Now you might say, well, if Krishna appeared before my eyes, I'd know what I'm looking at. Are you sure? What is the use in seeing without knowledge? and knowledge depends on hearing. Therefore, the necessity of the Guru. The Guru gives knowledge how to see Krishna. How to see Krishna through the ear, through the instructions of the spiritual master. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur made a statement. Stop trying to see Krishna in the groves of Vrindavan while you're engaged in material activities. Just follow the order of your spiritual master. And so many times, especially in the fourth canto, Srila Prabhupada writes that there's no secret in seeing Krishna except through the instructions, to the words of the spiritual master. So then you might wonder, how can that be? The words, the instructions of the Guru. All right, Gurudev Ki Jai. But how is that the secret to seeing Krishna? It's because Krishna's made the system that way. So if you're truly Krishna conscious, you take Krishna's system. But we always try to push with our mind. We try to push Krishna's system aside. And hearing Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu's. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, right. And this way we don't get the full benefit. So each devotee needs his or her personal confrontation with the reality of hearing about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. And in that way, you'll start to feel your eagerness increase. So much so that you can't make it through the day without glorifying Krishna. I've got to do something to hear Krishna's glories today, to spread Krishna's glories. I've got to do at least one thing. Of course, even better is the stage when you can't make it for a moment without glorifying Krishna. So this is how we build our spiritual life. This is how we build our spiritual strength. And of course, Krishna comes as Lord Chaitanya, and he gives us the order. The same order that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadhamma Pratyaja Mamekam Sharanam Bhaja. Surrender to me. That same order is repeated by Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Wherever you go, whomever you meet, teach the science of Krishna on my order. Ama Agya Guru Hoyat Tarave Desh. Deliver the land in that way. So this service of being Guru is actually meant for everyone. Not that everyone has to fly to every continent. Somehow or other I got locked into that for 50 years. But you don't have to be a guru to be an intercontinental jet flyer. Your own family, your own neighborhood, whatever your capacity is. That's what Lord Chaitanya is asking for. Being guru is not one person's job or even 100 persons' job. It's the service for everyone. And how to become qualified to be a guru? Say what Krishna says and be convinced about it and try to convince others. And in that way, Krishna consciousness will spread. So to be convinced about the message of Lord Krishna, you have to be convinced about the value, the impact, the total package of hearing about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna. But if you execute those activities just ritualistically, mechanically, externally, you'll get some benefit without a doubt. But you're missing out on the full impact. So we are personalists. What Krishna says, we do. What Sri Krishna Chaitanya says, we do. So there's so much service available in helping the world to be Krishna conscious. So it's your duty, it's your service to deliberate on the message of Krishna and convince others. And in that way you'll be able to distribute the mercy of Krishna. Just as a rain cloud takes water from the ocean and pours it down on dry land. So yes, the spiritual master has no mercy of his own. The mercy is coming from Krishna. So we want to dedicate ourselves to pleasing Srila Prabhupada, who brought Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Where would I have been without Srila Prabhupada's mercy? The thought terrorizes me, fills me with terror. Oh my, what if I had not met Srila Prabhupada? And how did I first meet Srila Prabhupada? Through his books. Page 2, the first time I started reading his books. On the second page, I felt like a nuclear missile had hit me in the chest. So I was seeing Prabhupada. He said his books, reading his books, are a better way of knowing him than being with him physically. That's another point that we need to understand in its full impact. Because some of you are thinking, oh, we never met Srila Prabhupada. But what about those fortunate ones who were present when Prabhupada was physically present? But we can never have that experience. But Srila Prabhupada, you have to take his words as they are. He said, reading my books is the best way to know me. Everything I want to say is in my books. Even more than his lectures, he said. When it comes to writing his books, he said, I think about every word and how it's going to impact the future. Sometimes I know devotees say, we listen to Prabhupada lectures. I said, do you read his books? We listen to Prabhupada's lectures. As if they're implying that there's some special association you get by hearing the lectures that you don't get by just reading the books. This is a concoction. Personalism means you want to know the person, you take the method given by that person. So you can have this great opportunity of associating with Srila Prabhupada, understanding the science of Krishna, and then giving that opportunity to others. Is Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu still here? But he had to go. Yes. So here we are, Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu, having this Vyasa Puja celebration in West Sydney. But we shouldn't be here, we should be in the temple. That's the irony of Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu's presence. He's letting us know. All glories, Maharaj, to the Vyasa Puja ceremony, but we're meant to be doing this in the temple. And so we offer our obeisances to the efforts to build a temple against all odds, against all obstacles in the western suburbs. And one day, hopefully, while I'm still in this world, we can see someone celebrating their Vyasa Puja celebration in the new temple in the western suburbs. The more that the congregation builds its spiritual strength, the more amazing things will happen. The temple is not actually built with just bricks and stone and concrete and marble. The temple is built from the spiritual potency of the congregation. So if you want to see the building rise and become more developed, the spiritual life of the congregation has to rise and become more developed. We're not materialists. We expand spiritually, and then you see the results in the external world. Sometimes, though, you can expand spiritually, and the external world doesn't seem to show that it's been impacted. But because we're following Lord Chaitanya, we're interested in impacting the external world. We're not Babajis. We are very social. That means we're concerned with how others can be Krishna conscious. So we have books, we have temples, we have prasad distribution, we have Harinam parties, university outreach, outreach this way, outreach that way, because, as someone was saying in their Vyasa Puja offering, yes, Krishna is for everyone. This is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The sun rises first in the east. India sees the sunrise first compared to other places. But the sun is for everyone. So the more you can make bhakti prevalent for everyone, the more you're fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's order. So Lord Chaitanya has instructed those who are fortunate to take their birth in Bharat, they have the responsibility to make their life perfect and help the whole world. So build your strength as a Bharat community and then spread, flood, overwhelm. I remember I was discussing with Pratapana Prabhu and Jai Shri Mataji how when His Holiness Bhakti True Maharaj heard my story of coming to Krishna consciousness, he said, "Now I know anyone can be a devotee." Now I know anyone can become a devotee. But there are millions of persons out there like I was. They're waiting to meet you. But if you think, oh, we've just heard about Krishna, we haven't seen Krishna. You should be eager to see Krishna in all devotional activities. Taking prasad is tasting Krishna. Yeah. You don't have any problems with that, huh? What can we do? Devotees love Krishna prasad. I notice as we're getting closer to prasad time, the room is getting fuller. That's the way it is. But we don't take offense at it. That's just the reality. So, finally, please remember, hearing about Krishna is seeing Krishna. The spiritual master, as the representative of Srila Vyasadeva, in the line of Srila Prabhupada, who is very strong on this point, has to teach the devotees, the disciples, that hearing about Krishna is seeing Krishna, the full presence of Krishna. That potential is there for you to reach, for you to develop. So I thank you all for your kind words, and I know whatever you're seeing in this little person is due to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much.